What's up, everybody? Welcome to this very special episode of True Crime and Cocktails. I'm Christy Oxborrow, and today I'll be guiding you through not one, but two bonus episodes that we're calling Taste of Patreon 5. And since this is the fifth one, you probably know the drill by now, but for those of you who don't, over on patreon.com/truecrimeandcocktails, we put out some bonus content that we call Last Calls. Sometimes there are true crime tidbits, sometimes there are games, and sometimes it's just us being our true chucklehead selves. So this first episode, in the peek behind the Patreon curtain, it's from May 2024, and it involves Lauren shocking us all by realizing a connection between our dating lives and Alvin and the Chipmunks. Honestly, she is really onto something. Check it out.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this last call episode of True Crime and Cocktails, a Patreon exclusive. We're so glad that you're here. As always, I am your host, Lauren Ash, and as always, I am joined by my co-hostess with the most S, Christy Oxborrow. How you feeling?
I'm doing great.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Couldn't be more excited about sharing my banana ice cream recipe with everybody in the regular episode.
Listen, we just finished recording the Lover, Stalker, Killer episode of the show. What a wild ride. And yeah, listen, we got into a lot in that opening bit.
We did. We did. Because bless you, trying to drive this bus, just trying so hard to get it to where we need to go. And I'm just like, hold up a second. Do you remember this show? And then next thing we know, we're talking about Beefalo.
Yep.
I didn't see that coming.
No one did.
And I mean, because I'm going to go so far as to say, I don't think it's just us. I think it's millennials, especially elder millennials, as a whole. But I think millennials are just so deeply nostalgic.
Yes.
And I know everybody is in some way nostalgic for stuff from the past, but I feel like millennials are next level when it comes to nostalgia.
I agree. And I wonder why that is.
Oh, there's got to be something. It's almost like I think I was going to say it's like the pandemic broke all of our brains and we just missed the time in our lives where we felt joy, and that's, our youth. But I feel like it was maybe even before that, where it's just something, I don't know, maybe it's the case of technology is what it is for us. So we can easily think of something and Google, and then it's like, here's all the answers.
Right.
From, here's that show we used to watch as a child or whatever. And that just makes it more, I don't know.
I think there was something to that.
Yeah.
We're definitely one of the first generations. I mean, Generation X could have too, but I feel like we're still closer. I guess we're closer to the youth, or closer to our youth. I mean,
sure.
So when the technology arose, that would allow us to connect to it directly, that makes sense. That it's like we have access to all of it. I have that Robot Man girl toy that I ordered on a whim because it was like, oh, that would make me happy. We are probably the first generation that has had that. I feel like Generation X just is so much cooler than us. You know what I mean? Like we're so unaffected and chill and well, I'll say it, broody. That it doesn't feel like they would have the same push to that kind of behavior. Now, listen, don't come for me if you're a Generation Xer and you feel otherwise. You're entitled to that opinion. Obviously, that's just my perception.
Oh yeah, I'm truly convinced that when the boomers became like adults.
Yeah.
I just feel like they were like, yeah, we've been waiting for adulthood. We knew what we were getting into. We knew all of this. We bought our house. We had our white picket fence. We had our 2.5 kids. And this is just the way it is. And I feel like we became adults as millennials and we went, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Boomers did not prepare us for this. Like, I feel like that's what happened. We were like, no. We didn't agree to this.
I do think, have you seen those like Instagram, like, what is it? carousels or whatever that are going around about like it's like a picture of like these are my parents when they were 23 getting married and having their first child. Here's my brother 36 opening his Easter basket. He's still single. Like it does feel like the it does feel like the generations just so quickly shifted. Like in one
Yeah.
generation, we went from like the boomers and more of that vibe into now where it's like prolonged adolescence. Um,
Oh,
which is,
100%.
is what it is, but it's just it is funny to me those back and forths where it's like, here are my parents at age 25 with their 3 children, like, going on vacation, and here's me drunk in a bowl of ramen. Like, it's like the
Yeah.
parallel is just very funny.
Oh, 100% because I mean, my god, if we had, like, the money they had in, like, the '80s, like, if we had that
Right.
level, we'd all have, like, huge houses, and we'd have so many of these things, whereas now it's like, best of luck.
Yeah.
Groceries are gonna cost you a shit ton this week. Speaking of which, I have a small beef
A
about a
beefalo?
thank you very much. About a grocery trip I took the other day.
Please.
And yeah, what what did I buy? A bunch of bananas and, 2 pints of Ben& and Jerry's. It's none of anybody's business. The point is, I also did buy a couple of other things, not the point. So I went to the store mainly because I needed cat food, but I was like, "I'm gonna get these." This was in the middle of a small blizzard. And I did not wanna leave the house, but I was like,
Oh
I
my
absolutely
god.
have to get cat food. I've dragged my feet on it, so I've gotta get this, plus, mama needs, her Ben& and Jerry's and banana.
Of
So I'm like, "Here
course.
we go." So we need this. So I get my stuff. I show up, and because it's mini blizzard, everybody gets it in their head that they're like, "Oh my god, it's gonna storm for 8 days. We need to, get all the canned goods, get the bottles
Stock
of
up.
water." Yes. So everyone's like, "The second you can, get to a store." So they had maybe 4 tills open and they were line-upped. So when I got to the tills, I was like, "I don't really wanna stand in a lineup. I just wanna go home, put on indoor pants, and move on with my life, and maybe get into that ice cream. We'll see." So I was like, "This is what I wanna do." So I look over, self-checkout, there's like 1 or 2 people in there, but there's so many that I'm like, "Great, available. I'll just go scan my own stuff." I scanned everything. I even did the little, like, code for bananas, which is 4011, just so you know. It's quite literally the only code I remember from my brief 6-month period as a, real Canadian Superstore, cashier when I
I
was
love that that
19,
one stuck with you.
18. Oh, yeah. Well, the joke is there were 6 of us. I'm getting sidetracked. There were 6 of us in this thing where we had to go and, do training, which was god awful because they wanted us to train and be able to practice on the tills before the store, like, when the store was closed. I would have preferred to come in at 9 PM and do it late at night. We had to come in at, like, 3 and 4 in the morning
That's insane.
so that we could have time on the till and leave before 8, or before, like, 8 or 9 whenever the store opened. The store now opens at 7, so thank God it's maybe different or I'm out of there since then. This was well over 20 years ago, and I'm still complaining about it. But I distinctly remember one of the girls in the group, we were all talking about, the codes because they sent us, like, home with just a booklet of all the codes, and it was like, "Try and memorize as many as possible," and I was like, "Or they have, like, a wheel in front of you that you can spin, look up the thing, and just type the code in." So I'm like, I'm not gonna memorize a full, like, stop it.
I remember this time, by the way, just
Yeah,
so you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
and this one girl, I don't remember her name, um, I wasn't there to make friends, I was there to make money, and I barely did, but this woman, this blonde girl, I remember her talking about the codes, and she's like, "Well, you just gotta find fun ways to remember them." Like, for me, bananas, it's 4011. I just picture the number 40 with 2 little bananas beside it, and fuck her, yep, to this day, more than 20 years later, it's still in my brain. 40 and 2 bananas. I think it every single time I see bananas. So, kudos to her. I don't even know what she's doing. I don't know how long she lasted. I quit at 6 months because I couldn't stand it anymore. I had found another job before I quit, so I guess I was at least that forward thinking. Not the point. So I go to self checkout. I 4011 for the bananas. I scan all my stuff. I even though there's like a hand scanner you can use, I didn't want to fuck with the system. I picked up this big bag of cat food, scanned it over the thing, put it on. Everything's fine. Do you want to pay? Yep, here you go. Great. Here's your receipt. Have a great day. They're nowadays, because they're trying to avoid paying all these actual cashiers. That's why they make us do it, right? And then they only have to pay one person to mill around and make sure we're all doing it. Fine. Well, they've recently added little security gates. So you have to like wait to then get out of the self checkout. Very irritating because it opens and the doors stay this way. So you have to go all the way around it to get out to the door. It's insane. Fine. Never had a problem before, so I didn't think anything of it. So I get all my stuff. I get my receipt. The girl who was kind of wandering in and around the tills looked at me, but didn't come over, didn't say anything, didn't like offer to help. They usually are like, oh, don't pick up that large thing. I'll scan it for you, whatever. But I didn't need her help. So I was like, I don't care. I just want to go home. I didn't want to be here. I'm annoyed. I just want to go home.
Right.
So I get my stuff. I get to the little exit doors. They open. There's people standing. So I have to like turn the cart in this awkward way, get around. I get to the front door to exit the building. And as soon as I push my cart through the door, I hear this loud bing, and my cart won't move because they have installed, of the 4 wheels on those fucking carts, they now have a plastic wheel which has some sort of security sensor in it. So automatically, I cannot push that cart. And I'm standing there going, okay. So I wait, and a girl comes over to me and she's like, oh, that's so weird. She's like, oh, I got to figure out what wheel it's on. And I went, shouldn't it be on the same wheel of every cart so you automatically know? Okay, fine. No judgment, whatever. And she's like, and I'm like, oh, do you want to see my receipt? Because in my head, I was like, to know that I'm not stealing. And she was like, I just need the code off of it. And so I'm like, okay. So I hand her the receipt. She reads the code at the bottom, punches something into her thing, gives my cart a little push, and it starts rolling. And she goes, great. There you go. You can be on your way. And so I was like, I don't even understand what just happened. To me, it feels like the girl at the self checkouts was like, I don't think she paid for everything. And she hit a code, which made my cart go off at the exit. So I go, okay, uh-huh. So she's like, yeah, your cart's good to go. You go. I put my hands on my cart, go to take a step. My cart is locked again. Bing! It goes off again. And I went, excuse me? So this time I was in a bad mood. And I tried so hard to be nice. This time, fuck nice. I was like, I need your business to understand that I'm pissed off so that you do something about it. Galen Weston doesn't give a fuck about the little person. I'll tell you that right now. Um, as someone who has worked for that company, they don't give a shit about the employees or the customers or anybody, just themselves. But the same girl comes back over and it's just like, oh, that's so weird. I'm so sorry about this. And I went, I'd like to leave. I've paid for my items. And I'm just like, are you really accusing me of stealing now twice? And she was like, I don't know what happened. It's so weird. And then she starts pushing the cart. And I said, can I leave? And she goes, yeah. And I went, great. Because if this stops, it's never getting out of this building. So I just like shoved it and pushed that cart out of that building. And there were 2 people sitting on a bench in there who were like, hate to be her family when she gets home. Like they knew, they were like, oh, she's in a mood. I was like, oh, I was pissed. First of all, those security wheels make those carts even worse than like a regular cart. But to pull that on me twice, I don't even fully get it. But
I guess my question would be like, is it possible it was a genuine glitch? It feels to me like you built a narrative that this was an attack.
I have built that I have been personally attacked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible it's a glitch, but to me, I'm just like, then maybe this is not the right system for us.
Yeah.
These security things, because I'm curious. I have gone there so many times.
Mm.
so many times, and I've never had that happen. And so to have it happen this time, oh, it I was already in a mood,
I also
and
wanna
it
put something else
just
into the space.
yes.
Is it possible that there's also a, like, you've been randomly selected? Like,
Oh,
they're
sure.
making, like, every 12th cart have that happen or something.
It is possible. What they have done, though, is now if I absolutely have to go there, I'm gonna do my damnedest not to get a cart. I was pissed because I wouldn't have gotten a cart if I hadn't needed the massive bag of cat food. So it's just like I'm sure it was nothing, and the fact that it went off twice in a row, I'm sure it's just like their system, and maybe she didn't hit something properly on the button to cancel it the first time around or whatever, but I felt attacked. I
Here's
felt attacked.
my final question. I just wanna be sparkling clear. So when you did go, the wheel was working. It wasn't that it was locked and you just
Oh, no,
you just
like,
pushed your way out of there.
the wheel was fully working,
Right.
and it was working after she did killed the buzz the first time. She pushed the cart and it was fine because she rolled it forward and backward and went, "Great, it's working. Here you go." And then as soon as I pushed it again, it did that sound and locked my cart. And I'm telling you, if it had locked the cart a third time, I would have left a like a line in their parking lot asphalt of the cart as I just dragged that sucker through because there was no way I was stopping for them again. I was just like, "Get me home. This is a nightmare." And
Th
I was livid.
this does remind me, and you're listen, this isn't gonna be a shock to you, but this does remind me of a story of a grocery store mishap that happened with my mother.
"Oh, sure. Is this the cake?"
No.
"Oh, I thought it was the one about
So
me."
no, sorry, no, I was making a parallel with the, anger.
And here all I was putting myself in all the stories.
Listen, well, look, we can tell that story too, but this one, we were leaving a grocery store, and I can't remember exactly what the interchange was. My mother had taken obviously, like, we took the cart to the car, to the trunk, we opened the trunk, we put the groceries in, but something was happening with an older gentleman with the car next to us. I can't remember how he was inconvenient, but there was some kind of, like, unsaid tension in this moment. And
Mhm.
so, as we got in the car, he moved our cart behind our car so that
'Cause
we
she didn't put the cart away and that pissed him off.
probably that. So, he moved the cart behind our car so that we couldn't back out. Now, there in front of us, there
Mm.
wasn't a row of cars. So Laurel, in a moment of unbridled rage, threw that fucking Dodge Aries into drive and pumped the gas and proceeds to go over a median, like a parking curb. Like 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 so so unhinged
Mhm.
and destroys the bottom of the car in the process. Like, it wasn't just like a little it was probably like a foot and a half, 2 feet of a curb that she just plowed over to get out of there. And in
Mhm.
the only thing I'll say that this is really the moment that really made me think of the parallel was that she said that looking in the rearview mirror and seeing how shocked that man's face was worth every penny of the repairs. And this is again like, look, like it for better or worse, like, you know, the full ash redheads, they do
Oh,
have some similar traits.
there's a DNA like, there's no
Yeah.
need for a DNA test in this
No.
situation. Her DNA is in my body. Like, I can
Yep.
feel that
Yep.
because I'm gonna say it. In a similar situation, I might have reacted the same way
I this
because
is why I brought
at
it up. Yeah.
at the end of the day, oh, my first go-to when I'm angry, oh, spite. Oh, I'm gonna go right to spite.
Yeah.
Just, oh, 100% right away. I'm going to be like, what would fuck that person over more? Because I'm so angry. I need them to be as angry as me. You know,
Yeah.
I get it. I absolutely get it.
I think the other thing to be noted is, like, if she had been coming at the curb at a clip, you could potentially hit it and go over it, and, like, I don't think it would, like, it would do damage, but I don't know that it would, like, destroy the car, but it was the fact that she went from fully still to then just wing and, like, boom, like, it was like I think I cried, like, I remember being
What?
terrified.
Probably.
I was maybe 7, like, I feel like I was bearing witness to her Michael Douglas falling down moment, like, it
Mhm.
was intense. It was intense.
This is feeling very like that moment in Who Framed Roger Rabbit when Jessica like snaps and
I
she
don't
suddenly
remember that.
goes, oh, she goes from being like that crazy hot cartoon that made everyone question everything about themselves
Of course.
um to I can't remember what happens, but she suddenly goes to attack Eddie, aka Bob Hoskins,
Thank you.
and she sees him and all you hear is her go, man, and suddenly she's just like her appearance, she's haggard, she is so different from what you expect, and she gets in that car and goes pulls a full like Cruella de Vil, like you see her foot just slam on the gas as she's like tearing off in
And
the
I
car.
I don't mean to bring this up, but also another redhead.
Oh yeah, the parallels are, look, redheads get a specific reputation. We've always had a reputation for our anger. Like the amount of people in my youth that I met who are like, "Uh-oh, better watch out for that one." And I feel like in my youth I was just like, "Okay." Like I feel like I was like very unbothered by so many things. Anxious and, stressed about stuff, but I don't recall much of my childhood where I was angry. What's happened is it's not redheaded children. It's 20 years of, growing up and people being like redheaded children are creepy. They have no soul. They're like terrible people. Like hearing this about yourself and then you're like, I don't like that. Like hearing that, it's 20 years of that buildup that you're like, I'm ready to go off now.
Right.
So I think the anger, oh, definitely redhead anger. It's definitely a thing, but I think mine took a while to come in. I think I fought mine, but now I'm just like, no, no. Anyone who incurs the wrath, um, earned it. Sure. So that's where I'm at now in
Yeah.
life. Just, yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm trying to think of famous redheads to see if all of them were angry. I don't feel like Pippi Longstocking was angry.
What
She was
happened when the
mischievous.
story ended, though? Like, we don't know the truth is behind closed doors.
Once she gets old enough that she's like, I'm over this shit.
Didn't Anne of Green Gables also have a angry streak?
I'll say it. I never read the books, watched the show. I have no concept of Anne of Green Gables.
I watched it.
I watched, instead of that, I watched Christy because I was tickled. It was Kelly Martin,
Oh, sure.
where she was like a pioneer teacher or something like that. I think it only lasted a season, but
What
it was my
was
name and spelt the same, and I was tickled.
what was with that era and pioneer times? It
Oh,
was Anne
well,
of Green Gables, not Anne of Green Gables, that wasn't pioneer times, but, like, that kinda old-timey show, Little House on the Prairie, like, it feels like
Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
thank you. It feels like there was a real now again, we've probably just named a bunch of shows that are all technically from different eras, but that's not important. That's not important.
Technicality.
Technicality.
Well, I'm gonna say something that's gonna blow your mind.
I can't
I
wait.
think at that point we have all these like pioneer old timey type shows,
Sure.
old west situation. But then at the same time, what else did we have? We had the space Star
Mm,
Trekky type thing. So it's like people who are creating shows for a chunk of time were like, well, current time is boring, so we either want super far back or super far ahead.
yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's really mind blowing, but that feels like because we had a lot of like space type things,
Yeah,
but you're right. There was definitely, I mean, even now, there is, people are loving like the Old West type
it's
things,
back.
like Yellowstone, for example.
Right.
Now, Yellowstone has been a show for like, I think it has like 5 seasons right now. I don't know if that's it or if there's more or whatever is happening. But since those 5 seasons, there's two separate prequels. And I'm just like, okay, first of all, should I be watching Yellowstone to begin with? Is this a thing? I've seen Cole Hauser in it,
Right.
and I know I'd be interested in that dynamic. But like, am I the right age for this program? Is this something I'm going to enjoy? Will I find it dull? Does it have enough energy to it? And also, if I'm watching it, do I have to watch the prequel seasons first? One of them has Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren.
Right.
So it's like, do I have to watch those? But those I think are only 1 or 2 seasons apiece, and then I think they got canceled. My question is, dear listeners, should I be watching Yellowstone? And if so, do I have to do the prequel stuff, or is it pointless?
Chime
That's
in the
just
comments, dear patrons. Let
yeah.
us know, what's your opinion on Yellowstone? Is it a thumbs up? Is it a thumbs down? Does she need to start with the prequels? I look forward to this.
A lot of questions. And
Yeah.
look, again, Cole Hauser and a little bit Kevin Costner, but just in the hat.
Right.
So, ah, God, because
Well,
I
and you know
did
what?
love Dr. Quinn back in the day. So
Joe Lando. Where's he now?
I don't know, but I worry because once you look up a certain number of people from your youth, it's tough to learn things, like Scott Baio and Dean Cain. Like just learning things where you're like, oh God,
Yeah.
they've flipped a certain way politically, or they've suddenly gone politically, and it's like, I stop it, Chachi. I don't care.
Stop
Like,
it, Chachi.
yeah, I'm just over it. So well, I mean, I'm a redhead. It's what we do. Um, but
Okay.
but yeah, it's
Couple
tough.
things.
Oh no.
No. Joe Lando.
Yeah.
Uh this is him in 2017.
Shit. Mm, well done. Well done, Joe.
Well done, Joe. As a reminder, this is what we were talking about back
Yeah.
then. This is 2020.
Wow. Oh shit.
Sorry, that was 2000. My bad.
That makes more sense.
This is 2012.
Oh wow. Okay.
Um, it seems as though he after Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, there's like a couple of things. But he reunited with Dr. Quinn co-star Jane Seymour in 2011 for the Hallmark Channel's Perfectly Prudence, and again in 2022 for Lifetime's A Christmas Spark.
I did watch A Christmas Spark.
There you go.
And that's how they drew me in, because it was them reuniting. So
That's
yeah, I
nice.
guess I have seen him. He was also, and I could be wrong here, but he was also like, I think the main guy. Oh God, I believe the show was called Higher Ground. I think it only lasted a season. It also had Hayden Christensen on it. And
Okay.
it was essentially like oh, like what was that show we used to watch and you thought the guy was Michael Landon?
Oh no, don't bring this up again.
No, no, we're not focusing on that.
I'm kidding. I'm
What was
kidding.
the Neon Rider? It was a similar
Yeah.
show to Neon Rider where it was like there is a cabin somewhere and they bring troubled youths to stay at the cabin. Jewel State is in it and she plays a goth, like a hard goth. I believe there's makeup involved. Um, but I believe Joe Lando was like the dude that was taking care of all these kids in that show,
In the
which
year
I'm realizing
2000.
was very similar to Neon Rider.
In the year 2000, Joe Lando starred in 22 episodes and executive produced a little show called Higher Ground.
Yes.
His
Oh,
character
that's
name was
nice.
Peter Scarborough.
Nice
Sounds like
nod for
Scarborough, but it's Scarborough.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember being into that show.
Beautiful.
Like when I think back, I feel like I watched it a lot, but there was only one season. So I think it's like a Mr. Bean situation where
Mm,
when you remember watching Mr. Bean as a child, you're
right.
like, "Oh, there was like 38 episodes." It's like there was like 10 episodes and that's it.
Yeah.
But when I think back, I'm like, "I watched that show all the time." And it's like, "Yeah, reruns, bitch." Like I have no memory of watching the same ones over and over again. But yet there were barely any episodes. It's shocking to me.
Yeah.
It's just I also have no idea why that show had such a hold on me. But
Mr. Bean?
well, not specifically Mr. Bean. I was meaning Higher Ground, but
Oh,
I did love Mr. Bean.
I just the idea that Mr. Bean had a quote hold
Hold
on
on
you.
me? Yeah, look, I was absolutely charmed um when he would speak because it was like once every other episode maybe, and it was usually just Teddy said very deeply, and I was very charmed by that. But it's like now that I think back and it's like, well, the reason I remember those episodes so well is because I saw them repeatedly.
So
I would not. I assume that's what we're asking.
I had to ask. I
Smash
had
or
to
pass? It
ask
is a pass.
if there was another, reason why there was a hold on you.
Well, I mean, that's a great question. There's gonna be, I mean, if I look back to all the shows I used to love in my youth, I guarantee, regardless as to my age, there is gonna be somebody on that show that's like, well, that's why she watched it.
Right.
Like, there's gonna be somebody because Blanche from Womb to Tomb. It's just what she does. But yeah, there was nobody that I
I
can think of for
remember,
Mr. Bean.
yeah, it was I don't even think there was more of a cast.
I did have that picture of him on my wall, though.
I had to ask.
Am I hiding something from
I think so.
myself?
I think so.
Oh my God. Did I like him because he was a nerd? Maybe I just liked him because he made me laugh. God, I was easy. What a real roller coaster ride
I
Mr.
mean,
Bean is. Yeah,
you always had the poster on your wall. He
I
was very
did.
tall or he's lanky, if nothing else. He did make you laugh, nerd vibe. Like, I don't know that it's so insane.
Well, I mean, in my defense, at that point, I didn't know that nerds were going to be my thing.
Right.
No offense to my husband
But
for saying that.
again,
He knows.
it may have always been in you.
I need to believe it was. I mean,
Okay. Okay,
yeah.
quick exercise here. Really
Oh,
quick.
yeah.
You have to date one of the three chipmunks. Who do you choose? One, two, three.
I have to date one of the chipmunks? Oh, God. I mean, obviously, Theodore. I don't know if obviously was necessary.
Obviously, Theodore.
I just feel like him and I have more in common. We're going to want to hang out. We're going to want to get snacks.
He
We're going to,
definitely has a Hufflepuff vibe.
he does. Because I feel, nobody asked. I feel like Simon is going to make me feel stupid because he likes to be superior. And I feel like Alvin's just going to be a dick to get like laughs from his friends. And then he'll be like, oh, but I do love you, baby. He's never calling me. But you know who's always going to be at the end of that phone? Theodore.
What I love was I thought that the giveaway would be if you chose Simon, then you're into a nerd, but I think Theodore counts more.
That I'm into a nerd if I take the food driven one.
Yeah.
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 He's also little.
Yeah.
Simon
I
was a
mean,
tall guy for a chipmunk.
Yeah, we have glossed over the fact that they are rodents at this point and are focusing on them as though they are just men, just men.
Just men.
Um,
Yes.
I mean, which one would you pick?
Alvin.
Alvin. You do like a bad boy, like
Yeah, like
he would be front guy of a band type.
he's the lead
Yeah.
singer of a band. He wears a cap,
Yeah.
you know? I love a man in a baseball cap. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
but
got
he's a literal walking red flag. Like
yeah. Yes. Yes.
oh yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wow.
A
Okay.
personality in spades.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, what's another
I got one.
yeah.
Don't think about it. First one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Cast of Scooby Doo. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Fred.
See? He's got Alvin energy.
He does. Huh. I think have you seen how square those shoulders are? Like we all have. Um yeah, it's just Scooby. Scooby was an option. Uh
Listen, we're glossing over the rodents. Like we're thinking of them as men. So Scooby as a man would count.
Uh, yeah. Well, I think initially I was like, well, Fred, because the option of Shaggy, I was like, oh, Shaggy just has such friend energy. I just can't.
But he's also very food driven.
He is, and I
And he
don't want to say this, but for some reason my gut is like, oh, if it comes between Shaggy and Fred, well, I mean, you can't defile Shaggy, but Theodore was okay. I don't know.
oh my God.
Oh,
Incredible.
he's too pure for this earth. So obviously, Theodore it will haunt me. It was the obviously,
Yeah.
as though it was like no question.
Yeah.
That's upsetting. That's
Okay, I got one
something
more
to
for
work
you.
through with a therapist.
I got one more
Yes.
for you. And this is actual
Yes.
people. This isn't a cartoon, so this will be a little easier.
Okay.
OG cast characters
Yep. Mhm.
of Beverly Hills and 90210.
Oh, oh my God. Then or now? Like Christy then
Then.
or Christy now? Christy then,
Well,
I was a Jason Priestley.
okay.
1,000% Jason Priestley.
And now,
Now, Luke Perry.
yeah. Here's the thing. Jason Priestley, I think Brandon
Yeah.
technically is the nerd of that show.
We wouldn't
Remember
put it on Austin Green, huh?
early on, there was plot lines where it was like Brandon gets a C and doesn't know what to do with himself before it became all about sex. I'm telling you,
Mhm.
between Theodore and Brandon, I feel like we're starting to see a pattern here. We're
Well,
ignoring
I
the
think,
things that don't, feed my narrative.
of course, of course. I mean, oh God, what other shows? Well, I mean, in the land of like Grey's Anatomy, I don't know why I made that leap.
Yep.
Until Denny Duquette came into my life and changed it for forever. Um, I was obsessed with George.
Here we go. And then you ask me who? McSteamy.
Oh, yeah.
He's got Alvin energy.
Oh my God, he does.
Yeah.
He does.
He's in plastics. Come on.
I like that a lot. Um, wow. Yeah. See, I like this. I like learning things. Okay. What's another long time show, or not even long time, but what's another show that has the different um male types? Ah, I mean, when it came to the band The Monkees,
Obviously, Theodore. Yeah.
I was obsessed with Davy Jones.
Now, Davy Jones, on one hand, does have kind of Alvin energy, except I would say that his personality was a little more understated, and he also was about
Sure.
4'2".
Oh,
So
he was tiny.
definitely has also a Theodore energy, I feel like.
Oh, sure. He was definitely on one hand.
Yeah.
Because just no. I tried to make something out of that.
And then ask me,
Um,
which was your favorite monkey?
Mickey
Then
Dolenz.
now always Mickey Dolenz.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he had an edge to him. Come
He
on.
did. He did.
Yeah.
He did. All right. I think we've had a period of time where we did um favor Backstreet Boy at some point, didn't we? Backstreet Boy and or member of NSYNC.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go.
I don't think I've ever had someone say let's go
Let's
and not
go.
mean it in a way that terrifies me. Okay, Backstreet. I mean, I
Well,
was
I know
torn
your answer.
I was torn between Nick and Brian. I thought Brian was the living end, and that heart condition made me feel for him. Yeah, look, I thought I didn't know if he was going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was.
But the Nick Carter, the baby of the group.
Yeah, that's going back to Theodore. Ah, Jesus.
Now, I also thought there was a period of time where you were into Kevin, but I might have dreamt that.
I do believe that was a dream.
Okay. Fantastic. For me, Brian was the preferred, but I'll be
Sure.
lying if I don't say that I wasn't also through a period of time thinking about AJ.
Wow. And
I
who
know.
has more Alvin energy in that band
No one.
group than AJ? Wow. Oh,
What
we're
I'm learning
learning
is
some things.
everything you need to know about yourself in terms of your relationship with men or the sexual attraction you have to someone can
Mhm.
be decided between which chipmunk. By
Yeah,
the way, this doesn't have to be just men. It could be anybody that you want to be a partner with. We're talking about the archetypes here. You know what I mean? So,
we
like,
are.
ask yourself, dear patrons, are you an Alvin, a Simon, or a Theodore?
Yeah. Because I mean, even if you wanted to go a Brittany, what was the other one's name? Brittany, somebody, and Eleanor. Who was the Simon version for the Chipettes? Because even if you do that way, they're the same. It's
Yeah.
just a different name. So you could choose that way if you would rather choose that way. Um, oh my God. It's like right there.
Chipette's
Brittany,
names
Jeanette.
Brittany, Jeanette, and Eleanor.
There it is.
Yeah.
And the answer, Eleanor. I mean, because that makes sense, because it's Theodore, obviously. Because who has the most Theodore energy on the planet with just like a bloop of Alvin in there? Mr. Jack Black.
Yeah. Great point.
Oh, God, that's where we're
Also, if
at.
we're talking about the Chipettes, is there a world in which I'm not Brittany?
Oh, I mean, you absolutely are. I just feel like this. Oh God, cosplay season couldn't come fast enough.
Oh, shit.
Um,
Absolutely.
my question is, would you go as Brittany, or would you go as Alvin?
I think we have to be Alvin and Theodore.
My only concern is, what do I do besides a green shirt?
Well, we're going to have to find a wig that's the same color as our skin.
We're gonna start looking into fun furs,
Yep. Yep.
and that. Oh boy, I don't know.
Well, there's a picture here where they wear little white shoes.
Well, that's something. Ah, Miss Miller. She's classic.
Okay, two more.
Yes.
NSYNC.
I mean, I did go through a pretty hard Justin phase. That has
Mm,
ended, and I'm very angry at him in the current time. But JC was my next go-to, and he was one of my go-tos on Mickey Mouse Club.
right. Yeah, I don't feel like I ever had a thing for any of them, but if I had to choose, it would have been JC for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
All
respect
right,
that.
final one,
Yeah.
possibly the most important. New Kids on the Block,
That hasn't changed from my youth, Jordan.
of course.
Front line and center, the one time I'm like, put him on the stage. Let us see everything.
However, he
Yeah.
can't compete in terms of being an Alvin. He's not an Alvin. When you
Oh,
have
are you
Donnie
saying that's
Wahlberg in the
Donnie?
group,
Sure.
get out of town. Get out of town. Jordan
So
had, well, he didn't have Theodore energy, but he had closer to Theodore energy than Alvin, in my opinion.
you're right. So basically, even though they may appear Alvin-ish at the beginning, deep down, it's their Theodore core that draws me in.
Now, this is a bit of an anomaly for me in my timeline because my favorite was Jonathan always,
Of
and
course.
I don't even know how he fits onto the chipmunk scale. There was also a short period of time I was very into Danny. I think that's because I felt like he didn't have as many fans, and therefore maybe I had a chance as a child. Um, we don't know when we're children what we're thinking. Uh, but I do have to say I do think there's some connection now to my, pattern with guys who like the gym.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. But I was gonna say something that I did pick up on there. Um, you said you started to like Danny for a brief time because you felt not a lot of people did, which is almost exactly what you said in the episode on the regular feed about B2 from Bananas in Pajamas. You liked him specifically because you believed for whatever reason that less people would choose him. Although, let's talk about that, shall
Yeah.
we? The fact
Yeah.
that our instinct is always which one. Obviously, you have to pick one. It's like, in what world? It's just
Yeah.
wild that we have this mentality of like, well, it has to be one or another. It can't be more than that.
I think the thing that's alarming is that even as a young child, I was like, well, the top one wouldn't choose me, so I better dumb it down to
Oh,
the one I have a shot at. Like, have a shot at. You don't have a shot at any of them. So aim as
they're
high as you want to
bananas.
aim.
They're fruit in pajamas. Uh,
I was speaking about Danny, but
of
but
course.
yeah, yeah.
I just
They're
feel
they're
like
40 they're 40 11s in pajamas.
thank you so much for bringing that back. Is it maybe less you thought maybe you couldn't get him and more like you just felt as a female because of course we are raised to you have to be nice, you have to be all these specific things towards men. Was it a well somebody's got to be nice to him?
I don't think this is. I think this was literally me going, I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, that could be a part of it. I also went through that. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I went through some phases where my crushes were questionable, but I think, yeah, I think that ultimately it was like, you're not going to have a shot. Like, I think what would have been healthier is if it was like, I get to choose any of them because they would all be lucky to have me, but that wasn't how
Of
I was approaching
course.
it. I'm not even
No.
approaching it that way when I'm talking about a banana in fucking pajamas. And by the way, either of those nanners would be very lucky to get to spend time with me.
Either of those. They should be so lucky to be
Thank you.
peeled by you.
Thank you.
Um now I only ask. I mean, well, so you have concerns that maybe there were some self-esteem issues right away. Sure. But you came into your own in your teens because you thought you and David Duchovny were gonna make a go of it.
You know what? I did go through a period where my self-esteem was clearly higher because I was like, when I'm 18 and he's 40, we'll be together. Again, questionable logic. Um,
I thought I was gonna marry Chris Farley. Oh my God, Chris Farley.
4. 'Cause 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 'Cause
Oh my God. I've
Yeah.
always been a Theodore.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Also, by the
This
way,
is, I know you said earlier to the people, decide which one you are. It's just brace yourself because once you know, there's no going back.
and listen,
There's
you
nothing.
personally, maybe you are at a different, you may be a different, I'm talking about decide what you are in terms of the partners that you're into. Decide who you go
Sure.
for. Because who has more of an Alvin energy than David Duchovny? That man is
Yeah.
a borderline sex addict and is open about it. And I'm not saying that Alvin of the Chipmunks is a
It's a
sex addict.
sex addict. But if he
I
was an adult and a person, who
I
knows
think
what's
there's a
happening?
real possibility.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I was obsessed with Kevin Smith for so long.
Theodore.
This is, I had no idea that the chipmunk scale was going to be, first of all, real. And second of all, very relevant and
Because
here.
I would even go so far as to say Dave Grohl to me is more of a Theodore than he is an Alvin.
Interesting.
He's funny, he's a philanthropist, he really loves what he does. I think he's on a spectrum for sure. I'm not saying he's all Theodore, but I don't think he's all
Sure.
Alvin either.
The chipmunk spectrum. Well,
Yeah.
well, there's no going back from this because now I'm just going to like mentally go through every crush I can think of and be
Yep.
like, who would I say they are? And then, damn it, it's going to be Theodore.
Yeah.
Oh my
Every
God,
time.
that was always my go to. Wow. What does that say? The Theodores are always the most comforting. Wow. Wow. Well, learned something today. Theodore. It's just the fact that it was obviously like I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, your very bold and confident statement without skipping a beat. Obviously, Theodore. I mean, that to me, that tells the tale, baby.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, God, yeah, I've also got to write down your
I'm just going to also say this. You don't think Paul Rudd is a Theodore?
oh, he's a Theodore. Him doing like lip sync battle type thing with Jimmy Fallon, that's a Theodore move.
Yes.
Just like a scotch of Alvin showmanship, but a Theodore attitude.
Yeah.
I'm just writing and I'm paraphrasing because it's not, I can't remember your exact quote, but is there a world in which I'm not Britney? Which
Come on.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, look, if we could find a way to easily like pull off those cute little furry faces, this would be an absolute um like out of the park. Obviously, that's what we would choose for cosplay, but I mean, it's tough. I just don't know. But also, like, how many more times am I going to dress up as some sort of a crush that I apparently have?
I just had this vision of us wearing like flesh colored, like our flesh colored, like suits that come like I did with the when I went
When you
as
were Joy.
when I was Joy, and then just having like just a mop, like the same tone mop on the head. And then I had a vision of dressing Bean as Simon with a little mop and little
The little
glasses.
glasses. Is it just me or do all our ideas just write themselves at this point? Like as soon as we even barely get it out,
Yeah.
we're like, "Oh, well that makes sense."
Last week, we inadvertently pitched the greatest story of the Wild West, Ladies of Schleisier. And this week, we've come up with an entire psychological profile where you can determine and make connections through every crush you've ever had, or a large
Yeah.
percentage of them.
we're working on like another plane, I
Yeah.
think. Like mentally, we're somewhere else. Because this is feeling, and I don't know why, but this is all feeling very futuristic to me.
I was just going to say, somewhere right now, we're starting to wake up in the pod. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah, that made it terrifying to think about
Well,
a future where we're all in pods.
well,
Well,
we saw The Matrix.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there are always those movies that you see and you're like, but not really, right? And it like unsettles you.
That leads me to something I need to touch on very quickly, and I've been meaning to text this to you, and I keep forgetting.
Can't wait.
We're watching some old Law& and Order SVUs. Adam Beach
Mm.
comes in.
Oh, okay. Yep.
He has such a Keanu vibe.
Interesting.
Watch the early SVUs with him. I believe it's season 8 is the first time he comes in, and I'm like, that's what it is.
Interesting.
The way he talks, like his whole demeanor, his whole vibe, I've seen him through new eyes. That
That's the
didn't.
s- that's the sort of voice you would normally say like a I've seen him nude.
Yep.
Like, it was that level and I couldn't have been happier. I'm writing down Adam Beach. There we go.
Oops. I tried to type in Adam Beach. I accidentally put in Scam Beach.
Is there a show called Scam Beach?
There should be.
Should we be watching it? SVU season 8. I did get roped into an SVU episode the other day. It was like in a reel, but I can't remember. Like I was just scrolling and suddenly it was like, here's this long version, but it was so the like they took the episode but like chopped it down to about 18 minutes. I realized 6 minutes into this video, it was 18 minutes long and I was like, I don't have 18 minutes for this story. But it was basically um a family very like Duggars style where
Sure.
there's like a lot of children, they have a reality show, all of this. And then the as soon as he came on screen I was like, well, he's a bad guy. um but the family's pastor was
Mm,
like a little too close with the family, and then it turns out
sure.
he actually got one of the girls pregnant. And once SVU realized it, they found out he was running to go marry the girl so that she couldn't, so that their husband and
Hmm.
wife, then they can't do anything about it. And then it came out that he had like abused a girl from the family years ago, got her pregnant, and the mother raised that baby as her own on the show to pretend that it was her child all along.
Oh,
And
wow.
again, it was a heavy 6 minutes. Like it was a lot of things going on that I
Yeah.
was very like, how is this so long? I thought videos normally cut off because that's what pisses me off is when you're scrolling, you find something and it's like a clip of something and you're like, oh, okay. And then it just ends and you have to go into the comments to find out what the name of it was because there's no sign of what the thing was to try and see it again.
Right.
And then there are, of course, dicks in the comments who are like telling you like totally not that title and just listing any title that they can. And it's like, what am I doing? So the second those come up, I just have to swipe them away because I
Yeah.
can't.
It's too much. It's too much of a roller coaster ride.
It's too much of a roller coaster. Oh my God, who's the most anxious of them all? It's fucking Theodore. Christ.
Look, all I'm saying is there's a million different personality tests out there. There's a million different, like, whatever. This is the up and comer, the
Wow,
chipmunk test.
you're right. And who's more of a Theodore than Cecil? Bringing it back to
To ladies
to
of Sleasure.
Old West Saloon. Yeah. Wow.
And then who's more of an Alvin than the sheriff who's in I mean,
Oh.
it's so obvious.
I mean, this is like seeing the world with new eyes. Like, I don't even know how to go back after this.
We're forever changed.
Yeah. Obviously, Theodore. Obviously.
Well, listen, on that note, we hope that you're also forever changed, dear patrons. We thank you so much for listening. Your support here allows us to continue to make this batshit content as well as our main feed of the show. So we're deeply appreciative of your support here now and always. Christy, do you want to say goodnight to the people?
Good night, Mark Stahl.
Good night, Alvin.
For the second episode today, we went way back in the archives to December 2022. Ah, were we ever so young. In this episode, Lauren gives us the deets on a reality show with a true crime connection before getting into a game that we've called Reality Show Real or Faux. Check it out.
Welcome to this last call episode of True Crime and Cocktails, a Patreon exclusive. We're so glad that you're here. As always, I am your host, Lauren Ash, and as always, I am joined by my co-hostess with the most S, Christy Oxborrow. How you feeling?
I'm doing great.
Wonderful.
I'm here with you, and you're in bed. Couldn't be happier.
Listen, we're two women who tried to get by.
Barely scraped by it.
You still are. You still are.
Hey, I'm upright.
You're upright. So
I'm upright.
Winning.
That's something.
You're winning. Listen, I had a pitch for this last call episode of the show, which is why we are recording it along with the last one that we did. Christy has no idea what I have planned whatsoever. I do not. But I think she and you, dear listeners alike, are going to really enjoy it.
Oh, I can't wait.
A couple of last call episodes ago, Christy and I, on the fly, out of nowhere, I just started describing reality shows that I enjoy. Yeah. Most of them are dating. I think it was all dating shows. And then Christy had to guess what the show title was, but then she also started coming up with what the title is that she would have given the show. It was a romp. It was a delight. It made us laugh.
It did.
So then I thought, wasn't there a reality show murder? Of course there was. Of course.
That checks out.
So I'm going to talk to you about it right now.
Of course.
And it's going to start with a little program called Megan Wants a Millionaire. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. What is that show? I don't remember that show. Well, there's a reason. The reason is it was because it was canceled after 3 episodes because someone on that show was suspected of committing a murder.
Oh, boy.
So buckle in, dear listeners, buckle in, my fellow chucklehead, as I take you on a wild reality show murder ride. Okay. So Megan Wants a Millionaire is a reality show that was a spin-off of the hit VH1 show Rock of Love, which, if you didn't watch, was a dating show in which Bret Michaels, I believe, remember the gentleman from you know,
that band.
That band. He was having all these different women come on to like compete to date him, which the fact that existed in our lifetime feels very bleak, but regardless. So this woman, Megan Hauserman, was a contestant on that show, and the show consisted of having 17 wealthy single men compete for her love.
So sorry.
Thank you. Poison. Appreciate that. So the show originated from a comment that was made by Megan during an episode of Rock of Love Charm School. I like that there was that specific spinoff. Disgusting. In which she stated she ideally would like to become someone's trophy wife. They thought,
Megan,
let's make her a show. So during the casting process for that show, VH1 was trying to find single men who had a net worth of over $1 million. In February 2009, Megan stated in an interview that the taping of the show had begun. She also stated she was looking for a mature guy that can handle me, who doesn't cry. She also said, he doesn't have to be rich. He just has to be stable. Which is interesting because the name of the show was Megan Wants a Millionaire, and now you're saying he doesn't have to be rich. But I guess she's saying her preference is a millionaire. I don't know. She said she would take the show very seriously and that it would be very real. Her best friends, Brandy Cunningham and Cecile Gar, were supposed to appear on the show to help her with her decisions. It premiered August 2nd, 2009. However, VH1 suspended the broadcast of the show on August 19th, 2009, after it was announced that contestant Ryan Jenkins was being looked at by police for questioning in connection to the murder of Jasmine Fiore, whom he had married after Megan Wants a Millionaire had concluded filming. On August 23rd, 2009, Jenkins himself was found dead. He unfortunately had, trigger warning, taken his own life at a motel in Hope, British Columbia, Canada. Yeah. On August 24th, the day after he took his own life, Megan Wants a Millionaire was officially canceled and none of the rest of the episodes had aired. However, it was known that Ryan Jenkins was a finalist, and actually it was confirmed that he had placed third in the series. He came in third place. So
I think I may have mentioned this, but not this part. I think you did. I think I mentioned Jasmine.
I think you did.
Because on a last call or something.
Yes, because she was, and again, trigger warning, this is a little bit brutal, but she was identified by the serial numbers on her breast implants. And when I read that, I was like, we've talked about this before, but we've never talked about the larger connection to the reality show. As far as I remember, I don't think that we had talked about that part, or I don't
think so either. No.
So I will repeat some of this again, just in talking about this full story.
Of course.
But so she was a model. They had met, I believe, in Las Vegas. Yes, they met at a Las Vegas casino shortly after he had finished filming Megan Wants to Be a Millionaire. 2 days later, they were married at a little white wedding chapel on the Las Vegas Strip. He had been charged in June of that year, so just a couple of months later, with domestic violence. Apparently, they were arguing over her kissing, I think it was like an ex-boyfriend or something. And so he hit her in the arm, causing her to fall into a swimming pool. He was set to go on trial for that domestic violence charge in December of that year, but they did reconcile shortly before her death. So that happened. The arrest happened in June. She died in August. So again, very short amount of time between him committing that crime and assaulting her and then literally murdering her. It was within 2 months. They were traveling to San Diego to go to a poker game at the time. Lisa Lepore, who was Jasmine's mother, said that the two fought all the time, that he was completely jealous of her relationships with ex-boyfriends. Ryan Jenkins' father said that Jasmine was Ryan's only friend in California, and that she would disappear for days at a time and lie about it. And I'm like, there's so many red flags on so many levels here with this situation. Also, Jasmine's mother said that Jasmine had the marriage annulled in May 2009, but there was no court documents anywhere backing this up. So they meet. Isn't that interesting? They meet in March. They get married 2 days later. Jasmine tells her mom in May she's getting the marriage annulled.
Yeah.
In June, he assaults her and they split. But then they're back together shortly before she dies in August.
Jeez.
So my question is, was she telling her mom, you know, Mom, don't worry, like, I'm getting this annulled? Like, was she lying to save her mom? Did she intend to get it annulled? Did she try to get it annulled and something went wrong? Like, these are all the questions that I have. It's interesting again. And then it's just also chilling to hear Ryan Jenkins' father say that, like, well, Jasmine was his only friend in California. So, you know, what was he like? Again, being like, okay, well, what does that even mean? Also, they were in Las Vegas for the bulk of that time. Her body was found in California and they were traveling to San Diego, but like it read to me like they were living in Las Vegas. So I don't really understand his point. She was assaulted in Las Vegas. So again, in June. So I don't get, and again, they only knew each other from March to August.
Huh.
So, you see what I'm saying? Again, I know we've talked about this case before, but I don't remember all of these details.
No.
Because I think that you were talking about it in a bigger sense about, I think it was when we were talking about Playboy. I want to say the women that had been murdered connected to
Yes,
Playboy. Yeah.
because I think it was after it was the last call after the Chippendales episode, because then
Yes,
I went into stuff about Playboy models that had been murdered.
exactly. Exactly.
Huh.
Um, but it just felt like, again, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it was just like a slip of the tongue, but it's like, did you think your son was living in California with her at the time? It's
Yeah.
interesting to me. It's very interesting to me. Um, she was she was obviously a swimsuit model, and so again, that's why I believe that you were talking about it at that time. Um,
Right.
but she did have this long-standing relationship uh with another man who she wanted to settle down with. But then there was another man who she met around 2005 and became engaged to. They did end up breaking off the engagement, but they kept dating and they remained in each other's lives. And that second man, Travis Heinrich, was the man that Ryan accused her of kissing, and that's why he had hit her in the arm and she fell in the pool. So
Sure.
again, it just feels like there's a lot happening, a lot of layers here. But
Yeah.
um they had checked into the hotel in Del Mar, San Diego on August 13th. They were supposed to attend this poker tournament, which was a charity fundraiser for the Del Mar Hilton, excuse me. They were leaving on security camera around 2:30. They were later seen at an Ivy Hotel nightclub in downtown San Diego. Around 4:30 a.m., he returned to the hotel alone. She was never seen again. And then he left the hotel that day at 9 a.m. And again, her body was discovered but not identified on August
Right.
15th at 7 a.m. because it was unfortunately so, he had badly beaten her, and it's
Right.
horrifying. He also had done things to make sure that she couldn't be identified, and he had done a pretty good job. There's a movie called Shallow Grave, which is a movie starring Ewan McGregor and
Right.
I believe Kevin McKidd, I think. And they
Huh.
basically find someone. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, but they find
No.
someone, they find a, they have a new roommate move into this house that they're living in. And they wake up one morning and he's died, but he has all this money, all this cash. And so they have this moment where they're like, well, what do we do? They decide
Sure.
rather than reporting to the police, they're going to keep the money and they're going to get rid of the body. And then
Of
they go
course.
through the steps of how to get rid of a body so that it can't be identified,
Sure.
which is chilling. But again, and
Yeah.
it feels like if Ryan Jenkins had not seen that movie, he at least had like some concept, like, you know, this is going to be a little graphic, but her teeth had been removed, her fingers had been
Right.
removed. So again, it's like he's trying to get rid of fingerprints, he's trying to get rid of dental records.
Yep.
Um, you know, and again, it's
Wow.
interesting that, but again, he never would have known that you can identify someone by the serial numbers on breast implants. Um,
Right.
yeah.
I can't imagine someone who could murder someone, but someone who could then do that?
Oh, and she was found in
Oh,
a suitcase.
right, right.
So there's that too.
Jesus.
Yeah. Um, so anyway, sorry, all of this to say, uh, she was reported missing on August 15th. I believe he reported her missing. And he said he last saw her at 8:30 p.m. on August 14th. I guess they did have a home in Los Angeles, and maybe they were going back and forth to San Diego and Vegas for different poker things, I guess. But again, it's just interesting to me that his dad was like, it was his only friend in California. It's such a just, I don't know, it's a dramatic statement to me a little bit. And
Yes.
also, how long had they even been living there? Because again, at this point, they'd met in March
Yeah.
in Vegas.
Oh.
So it's
Oh.
interesting again that you can see her on tape at 2:30 a.m. that day, but then he on the 14th, but he claimed that he saw her at 8:30 p.m. that day, so much later, which he obviously did not. Um, so after on August 16th, after he had reported her missing, he spent time packing and he left their house for the last time. He left Los Angeles, went to Nevada to pick up his speedboat. So again, it's like, did they have multiple homes? It sounds like yes. It sounds like they were at least spending some amount of time in Las Vegas if he has a speedboat parked there,
I
right?
mean, I guess he had to have some sort of money if he was eligible to be one of
Right?
Megan's millionaires.
Great point. Great point. Even though Megan was not concerned about money, even though, it was part of the show.
Yeah.
On August 17th, when police contacted him, he said he was in Utah and then heading to Canada to resolve immigration issues. On August 19th, he called his father from Birch Bay, who informed him that Jasmine had been found murdered. Of course, Ryan already knew this. And again, but this is what I love. And again, I don't think we talked about this before. A sheriff's department received witness reports that his black BMW SUV was towing a boat towards the Canada-US border. Police later found the BMW SUV and an empty boat trailer at a marina in Blaine, Washington, the engine being still warm. He was only a person of interest at this point and had not been charged, but Canadian authorities had been alerted to watch out for him. So, first of all, where did he think he was going to get on the boat? And again, like, way to make yourself look conspicuous.
Yeah. It just feels like he thought if he could get to some water, he could just go around and magically just pull up on any patch of land in Canada and be like, and right? I'm back, and they don't know.
Exactly. So Canadian authorities have been alerted to watch for him. The U.S. Coast Guard and U.S. Customs and Border Protection confirmed they had boats patrolling Northwest Washington, the coast there, looking for him. They've said that they had been looking for him as early as August 19th. Media reports said that Canadian authorities had chased his speedboat as it crossed to Point Roberts, which I believe is in Canada, but officials later denied that.
Interesting.
I don't trust that. On August 19th, a man matching his description was seen piloting his boat into a marina in Point Roberts, where his stepmother lived. The RCMP announced that they believe he had crossed into Canada sometime between August 19th and August 20th. So again, it's like, I love that my immediate reaction when I was reading this before, and I'm playing it now as though I was reading it before, was, where does he think he's going to get to go on a speedboat? Does he think he just sneak into Canada? The answer is yes. The answer is absolutely yes. But what's interesting to me is that it's like, if you know you've committed a crime, you go to Mexico, go to South America. Like, Canada, they're going to find you. Like, it's a connected system, as opposed to, if you go to Mexico or something like that, the government is run very differently. It's easier to be in the wind, right?
Sure. And language barrier is going to cause problems.
Right. 100%.
So yes.
August 20th, he's charged with her murder. An arrest warrant is issued. The same day, he called his detained father at the airport, but his father had to hang up the call.
His father was detained?
Correct. So I can't determine if he was detained because he was trying to travel and there was a call out for Ryan. So then my bigger question is, let's say, for example, my mother commits a murder. Mother Laurel goes berserk and she kills somebody.
Sure.
And then I happen to be traveling. Am I going to get detained and stopped at an airport because they're looking for her?
If they think you know where she is.
That's terrifying to me.
Well, let's hope she won't commit a murder.
She won't.
For multiple reasons.
But
if someone touches one of her waxy cups. I kid. I just like the throwback to the waxy cups.
Oh, it's amazing. But wait, there's more. At 6 p.m. on August 20th, Ryan Jenkins arrived in a silver PT Cruiser. By the way, Laurel, she drives a PT Cruiser. He arrived in a silver PT Cruiser with a young blonde woman to the Thunderbird Motel in Hope, British Columbia, Canada. The car had Alberta license plates. They pulled up beside a dumpster rather than beside where the rooms were, which the motel manager kind of clocked as being weird.
Yes.
Ryan stayed in the car while the woman paid cash for 3 nights. The manager described the woman as attractive, 25 to 30 years old, very calm, and making lots of small talk while registering. The guest in the room next door
said the woman stayed for about 20 minutes with Ryan in room number 2 and then left. The woman turned out to be his half-sister, Elena Jenkins. She was seen the very next day, however, August 21st, walking around the motel. The manager said that Ryan was completely exhausted and did not look like the picture they had been running on television. He looked like weight of the world in his face. But here's my question again. So she goes with him to help him get a motel room, checks him in, but he's still in. These are the bungling moments where it's like, you can still see you in the car, dude. You don't have an invisibility cloak because you're in a car. But then also she's coming back. Like, was she bringing him food? Maybe. 11:30 on August 23rd, the couple failed to check out. Having noticed very little activity over the weekend, the motel manager and his nephew decided to check on the room. Ryan was found dead, again, having taken his own life. His body was hanging from a clothes rack by a belt. There was no suicide note, but police found a document saved on his computer entitled Last Will and Testament, which was dated August 20th, 2009. So it sounds to me like if they checked in on the 20th, which they did, to that motel, he had a plan at that point for what he was going to do there. Now, there is one other detail in this that I found that did blow my mind.
Oh, I can't wait.
So, as we know with any of these cases, very sadly, it's like if someone is guilty of typical like domestic abuse, it's not usually the first time. There's going to be a trail of other people that he's probably in his past had issue with, correct?
Yeah.
So I wondered about that with him. So it comes out after all of this has happened, again, after he's passed away, all of the above, it's come out that he not only had that assault charge against Jasmine in 2009 in June, but 2 years earlier had been convicted of assaulting a woman in Calgary.
Oh.
That incident had not been disclosed, allegedly, to VH1 or the Megan Wants a Millionaire producing team, which is called 51 Minds. 51 Minds, the production company, released a statement saying it would never have allowed Ryan Jenkins on the show had it known about that 2007 incident. Apparently, VH1 had hired a firm that specialized in private investigation called Collective Intelligence to perform background checks on all of the contestants. Collective Intelligence, however, does not perform background checks outside of the United States. So they outsourced the vetting of Ryan Jenkins to a Canadian firm called Straight Line International. In 2009, Collective Intelligence sued Straight Line for breach of contract, alleging that they had falsely told Collective Intelligence that Ryan Jenkins' record was clean and that they had also failed to check Jenkins against the RCMP criminal database. They didn't run him through the RCMP criminal database, and they just said his record was clean.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
Collective Intelligence, of course, has claimed to have lost valuable business from Viacom, which is, of course, the company that owns VH1, NBC, and ABC as a result of this huge damage to its reputation, which, by the way, I actually agree with. I feel like sometimes you hear about these lawsuits and it's like, well, did it really? And this one, I'm like, no, that's a huge problem. If you outsource to another company that you're trusting to bring you accurate information, it completely discredits you and everything that you do. And the judge agreed with me because they did win that lawsuit in July 2011.
Okay.
Final note. The day after Ryan Jenkins' death, VH1 obviously announced that Megan Wants a Millionaire has been canceled. We will not be airing the rest of the episodes. And we're also not going to run that other reality show that Ryan Jenkins went on for us called I Love Money, which he was the winner of. He had also shot another season of a reality show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So anyway, I know we had talked about this case before, but I just
Yes.
felt like there was so many layers of details. I felt like the reality show connection angle, it was worth
Of
revisiting.
course. A couple of questions. I don't
Please.
know if you have the answers. How did Megan do on the Rock of Love one?
Great
Like,
question. I'm
how
not
high
sure.
did she get? Okay.
Well, let's find out. I'll find out right now. Rock of Love Charm School.
Well,
Maybe she must have been a finalist, it feels like.
well, if she was enough to get her own spin-off, you would
right?
think so, right?
Usually it wouldn't be the winner because ideally they, and then I saw like I saw some article once that Bret Michaels has like been with the same woman for 30 years or something. And I'm like, so wait a minute. So then what was all of those reality shows? Was she okay with those? Did they split up? Like, what's the deal?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was also, one of my questions was going to be, did Bret Michaels find love?
Yeah, great question. I don't know. But again, I could be wrong. I could be mixing him up with somebody else, but yeah, I did think I read that recently that it was like, wait a second. So this whole thing was, and I love that I felt personally betrayed that I couldn't trust Bret Michaels to tell the truth.
For me, it is absolutely, it stings.
Yeah.
It's Chris Evans all over again.
Right.
Going out and parading around like a proud peacock, looking for love, telling people he just wants to settle down. He just wants love in his life. And then it's like, oh yeah, I've been dating a woman for over a year.
It's weird. Now, here's what's interesting. Megan was eliminated. I'm just double checking. She was eliminated in episode 4 of 12. So early.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, maybe 11 episodes. Still, that's still early. No, wait a second. Yeah. There was either 10, this is hard to read. There's either 10 or 11 episodes, but still early. It wasn't like she was like in the final 3.
Sure. I was just curious about Bret Michaels. He apparently he proposed to his on again, off again companion of 16 years.
There it is.
And then in 2012, they separated. They had 2 kids in 2000 and in 2005. Michaels has a line of pet clothing and accessories called Pets Rock, available at PetSmart.
Again, it's just interesting to me that like, oh, wait a second. So wait, so Rock of Love Charm School wasn't about competing for his love anymore? 14 contestants from Rock of Love with Bret Michaels. He had nothing to do with this. So it's just contestants from prior seasons of Rock of Love. Well, how did Megan do on Rock of Love? This is, dear listeners, you're really getting a look into how this all works for us. But wait, Rock of Love was still released 2007 to 2009. So wasn't he still with this long-term love during that time?
2009, it said they were off and on for 16 years, and it said he proposed in 2012 and they had a kid in 2000 and a kid in 2005. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like they very briefly broke up and he was like, okay, I guess I'm doing a show.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like, isn't it? Doesn't it?
My other question for you was going to be, did Megan marry a millionaire?
Well, that's going to be what we're going to find out next. Megan appeared on Rock of Love 2 and did finish 5th on that. Before that, she was the winner on season 3 of Beauty and the Geek and modeled as a Playboy cyber girl.
Oh, boy. Yes.
She also modeled for a Guitar World photo shoot alongside with other people from the show. Yeah. So let's see. Megan Hauserman, has she found love now? Let's find out. She's 41 these days.
Sure.
These days. Personal life. Let's see. Oh, here's a fun fact. She and her pet chihuahua Lily won a trophy in the Lighthouse Point Dog Show for the category Smallest Dog in 2014. Also in 2014, 2014 was a big year for Megan. She also gave birth to a son in Boca Raton, Florida. Yes. Hauserman's husband and father of her son is professional golfer and Fuel You Fast Inc. owner Darren Edward.
That sounds like a man with money.
It sounds like she found what she wanted.
Well,
Doesn't it?
she said that was her goal, right?
God bless her.
She got her goal.
Yep. I don't judge that. I don't judge that at all.
No.
Oh, I think well, you're gonna love this. I assumed I hear golf, I think old and gross. I'm just gonna pull up a photo here if I can, because I saw one and not old and gross.
Interesting.
So maybe it's not just, maybe it's also for love.
It's possible. Oh yeah, not my style.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
That's very quick to say that,
I was
Christy.
expecting it, but I was expecting, like, you know,
elderly.
yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Anyway, now, as Christy likes to do, we do
Yes.
the dark, we do the light. Boy, oh, do I have a light planned, and that is round 2 of our reality show game, where I'm going to give a synopsis of a reality show. Christy is going to guess what the real title of this show is, and she is also going to make up what she would like the title of this show to be.
Yes.
There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Buckle in. Number 1. Romantic pairs try and figure out which of the couples among them aren't actually a couple, but are pretending to be in a relationship for the show and are telling lies to everybody there. Every lie that is revealed, that is kind of discovered by the legit couples on the show, adds money to the big cash prize that the final remaining couple, if it is a real couple, will win at the end.
Okay.
There's also a bonus for that one if you can guess the celebrity host.
Oh, do any of the other ones in these have a celebrity host?
No.
Okay. Oh God, yeah. I know so few names, so I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna. Oh shit.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that there's any chance you will get any of these show titles correct, other than maybe one. So I think
I feel good about that.
Yeah, lean into you. You could do, you know, what feels like a realistic title, and then what feels like a Christy Oxborrow title, you know.
Host.
And a celebrity host.
He absolutely has never hosted a single thing, Christy. What are you doing? It's not Kevin Bacon. Okay.
Well,
I'll pick someone else.
You never know.
You never know. Okay. Celebrity host. Okay. Are we just going through the whole list, or do you want to do one at a time? Okay.
I think we should go through the whole list, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 2. Upset about being hidden from their partner's life, desperate people dupe said partner by telling them they're going on a reality show that relates to their life and interests in some way, when in reality, this is a show where 2 hosts deep dive that secretive partner situation until finally revealing the truth and demanding answers in confrontations that rarely go well.
Okay. Wow.
And I've watched every moment of that program. Just know that. Yeah.
I fucking lost my mind. Okay.
Number 3.
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Yeah.
It's all part of it.
Yeah.
This experimental dating series follows 6 single people in search of their soulmate. One by one, each of them will get the chance to explore a lifetime of missed connections as they enter through something the show calls the portal.
That sounds like a horror movie.
Is this a trick question? Is the show called The Portal? Who knows?
Okay. Um. I'll bite on that tip.
Mhm. Listeners, I hope you're playing along at home, by the way. I'm sure that there's some of you that are going to get all of these correct. And I also want to hear what you think these shows should be called. You can put them in the comments down below.
Oh God. Okay. These aren't going to be my best. I'm not
matter.
up to my best. They're
Doesn't
going to
matter.
be okay. It's going to be what it's going to be.
Number 4.
Yeah.
A group of people living together in a house that's outfitted with 94 high-definition cameras and 113 microphones have every move of their lives recorded 24 hours a day. Each week, someone will be voted out, with the last remaining contestant receiving a grand prize of $750,000.
Jesus. That's a lot of money. Okay.
We need to think of a snappy name for this game.
We do.
Yeah.
I would like that very much.
Number 5, final show.
Yeah.
People in long-term relationships that ended in divorce or separation have their ex play their matchmaker.
That sounds like hell.
Terrible idea, I think.
Oh boy. Okay.
All right.
Boy.
You ready for this? Number 1,
Yeah.
romantic pairs are looking for the fake couples among them. And every lie that is revealed will add money to the big prize, to the final real couple, if it is a real couple, left standing at the end of the show.
Yes. My guess for the real title is Lie Detectors.
Ha! Yeah.
I
like that.
My guess for the obviously not real title of the show, Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire. And my guess for the host, for some reason, I went Kevin James.
Amazing. I would pay any price to see Kevin James hosting Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire.
Yeah. Right?
The actual name of this show is Love at First Lie.
Love at First Lie. Oh, okay. Sure.
Which feels like a play on Love at First Sight.
Yeah.
And the celebrity host, a personal favorite of mine, Ms. Tori Spelling.
Hey. Oh, that's new, isn't it?
It's new.
I think I recall her being, good for her. I have the request. I'm the most, I think my fake title for the second one is my favorite thing I've done all time. So I wondered if we could push that to the end. It's my favorite from this list.
We will move number 2 to the end.
Yeah.
We'll skip to number 3.
Great.
Number 3. This experimental dating series follows 6 single people in search of their soulmate. One by one, each of them will get the chance to explore a lifetime of missed connections by entering through something the show calls the portal.
I did bite and say I thought the real title was The Portal. And then I thought the not real title was Huey Lewis going, "We're going back in time."
Amazing. First of all, I'm so sorry I did a fake out. It's not called The Portal.
No, I wouldn't have got anything close.
I do think that it should be called The Portal because they reference, I've watched this show too. They reference the portal constantly. And it's like, oh, somebody else is coming through the portal. Well, meet me tonight at the portal. I'm like, it should be called The Portal. In fact, I guarantee at some point this show was called, in development, was called The Portal. Anyway,
of course,
this show is called The One That Got Away.
Oh, stop.
But it should be called The Ones That Got Away because each contestant has multiple people from their dating past. And the best moment was when a guy came out and the girl was like, I don't know who that is. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Oh yeah. It's a fun watch. Number
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
A group of people living together in a house outfitted with 94 HD cameras and 113 microphones recording their every move 24 hours a day. Each week, someone will be voted out, with the last remaining contestant receiving a grand prize of $750,000.
I said real answer, Big Brother.
Yes.
Not real answer, 1984.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, I was pretty sure you'd get that one, but I was like, the reason I
Yes.
wanted to include it was $750,000. No wonder people go on that show.
Yeah. 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 I
Jesus.
get why they try to be a favorite of the viewers, because you
Yeah.
want that in money.
Because I never knew it was that much money. I thought it was a normal reality show payout. And I was like, why are these people, whatever? I get it.
Do you
now.
know how much holiday baking people get? If they're lucky, like 20 grand.
Yep.
Usually it's like you get a pat on the back and a thing of an article in HGTV or Food Network magazine, and so $750,000. That shows how much money that show makes.
Yeah, exactly.
Wowza. Okay.
Number 5, people in long-term relationships that ended in divorce or separation have their exes play their matchmaker.
My guess for the real one, and I hope that I'm right, is expectations.
Oh my God.
And then my fake title is horror show, because there's way that I would like that to happen.
This show is called After Happily Ever After.
Okay.
Feels like a little bit layered.
But it's also like, you got to make sure that they're not purposely trying to fuck you around because your marriage ended badly.
That's what I'm thinking. Think about any of my exes as a matchmaker for me. Any of them.
No.
None of them. No way. Never.
Wouldn't trust a single one. Nope.
All right, we're going back to number 2.
Yes.
Upset about being hidden from their partner's life, desperate people dupe that partner by telling them they're going on a reality show that relates to their interests or lives in some way, when in reality, this is a show where 2 hosts deep dive the secretive partner situation until they finally reveal the truth and demand answers in confrontations that rarely go well.
Somehow, my real title is Peekaboo Desperado.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I don't know why.
Oh, coming soon to the merch store. Peekaboo Desperado. That's the greatest thing you've ever done. You're right. That's so funny.
The fake title that I came up with, and I'm realizing, God, I should have switched these around, but it is what it is. The fake title I came up with, Dupe Troop.
Oh my God. Also amazing. I love that you were like, I'm not really on fire today. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Look, Peekaboo Desperado might be some of my best work. Yeah.
Peekaboo Desperado is, I don't even know what to tell you. If I start a band, I'm going to want to call it Peekaboo Desperado.
Of course.
Well, I am actually glad that we left this one till last. And I was thinking about putting it last because it is my favorite title, possibly, of almost any reality show ever. The title of this show is, and I quote, I am going to read this with the punctuation that it has on the poster.
Oh, I can't wait.
Help! I'm in a secret relationship.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Dupe Troop was right there.
Dupe Troop was right there. Here's what's amazing. So I got to tell you about this show a little bit. So I have watched every second of that show. There's only one season and I was enraged. It's very much trying to build on kind of like the catfish formula.
Of course.
Where, it's one person writing in and them trying to kind of like solve a mystery or whatever. But here's what makes this one amazing. It's hosted by a very attractive young rock star gentleman I can't remember his name because we're old now and apparently we don't know new bands. Anyway, and a woman too who's, I love her. She's no nonsense. She's fantastic. But I just have to tell you about this one episode. So there's this episode where a gal writes in and says, and I'm bastardizing these details, by the way, that some of these are not going to be 100% accurate. It doesn't matter because the laugh line or the laugh point I will have correct because it's what stuck with me.
Of course.
A gal writes in and she's been dating her boyfriend for some amount of time. Again, I can't remember how long, but long enough. Like we're talking usually on this show, it can be years. People are with people and then the person has not told their friends or family, like won't go out in public with the person, like all of these different things. It's quite sad in some ways. So they always have to dupe them. Again, hashtag dupe troop.
Yes.
Into why this camera crew is coming to film them. So this gentleman, this gal's boyfriend, was a aspiring amateur wrestler.
Oh no.
And was told that he was being interviewed because they were interested in his like wrestling career.
Oh no.
So when they show up to his parents' house, he's pulled out the mattresses and put them in the driveway and he's got a friend over and he's ready to do some demonstration.
Yeah.
Now, when I say that the confrontations at the end of this show rarely go well, I am being very accurate. Never has one gone worse, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And the reason why this one went so poorly was just that he was so upset that they weren't actually interested in his wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
So upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that a deal breaker? Was he like, and I'm out now?
I don't remember. I was so delighted by the moment where he was like, wait a minute, so this isn't about my wrestling? You don't care about my wrestling? This is bullshit. I remember that so well. I don't remember how it ended. That didn't stick with me. What stuck with me was that I was like, this guy, you got this young gal, she's head over heels for you, loves you so much, and that's all you care about. What I wanted to say to her was,
hey, it's time to go.
Scoot. There's better for you. There's better for you.
It's okay to accept when it's time. Yes. Wow. I did look up the male host because I was interested. Because I was interested. Still have no idea who he is, and I've read about him.
Yep.
His name is Travis Mills.
That's it.
He's an American rapper known as T Mills, and he's an actor from Riverside. For our viewers.
Yeah. Oh boy. He has like bleach blonde hair in the show, which then he sometimes dyes like a light purple, like a
that
lilac.
Feels your style.
It's very in my wheelhouse. He's very tall and he's actually wonderful as a host on this show. Like he's really like, yeah, he gets invested and he like seems to like really care about the people and whatnot. I really like both of the. Here's the thing: Help! I'm in a secret relationship is a revelation of a program. Sure. I want more.
Yes. And how long ago was this?
I binged them all in like a very quick amount of time. I don't know, maybe 6 months ago.
Huh.
Is there a new season?
So there's time. It's possible.
Yeah.
That they'll bring more, is what we're saying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's my hope.
What I love is usually when we're done with papers that I use on the show, I save the ones from like the regular episodes, but from like anything I bring to a last call, I have a recycling bin right beside me. So I remove my Buzz Lightyear plush that's sitting here because I haven't found anywhere else for him to go.
Of course.
And I put my papers in there. However, my desk now is home to papers that say Peekaboo Desperado and May We Forget from last time, Love Buzzer. So
Love Buzzer.
I guess I'm just gonna start keeping tabs on those.
Yep.
I love a list.
She loves a list.
She does.
Well, again, Peekaboo Desperado. Yeah. I'm gonna be noodling on designs as soon as we're done this. This is a dream for me. And you know what? I think I'm gonna put it on the store. and I'm just going to put like for Patreon people on there, but it's going to be open to everybody. And then no one who isn't on Patreon is going to get it. And I love that for us.
Yeah. And
People are gonna be
also,
like, what is
depending on when you put it, even Patreon won't have a clue.
Yep.
Because I think this episode, I don't know. I knew when this episode came out, but I've already forgotten it's not for a bit yet.
Yep. Well, good news.
Yeah.
There'll be Peekaboo Desperado shirts available immediately.
Look, if I just even get one in the list, that's all I want. I just need one title that makes me go, I don't know what you were thinking, but that's the best thing you've ever said out loud.
Yours were all so good. They were all so good. But Peekaboo Desperado is like, it's I mean, I'm wondering if I just kind of try and like, do I just alter
that?
Do I try and make it like this? Like, do I make it Peekaboo! Exclamation point Desperado.
Oh shit, I think I see our next cosplay.
Oh boy. Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Listen, and I'm sure that there's a certain amount of this that is of course pre-planned or whatever. I don't care.
Sure.
For me at this point, it's like we all know that reality television is
not yes.
Massaged or whatever you want to call it, and I don't care. I find it entertaining. Also, there's him with the purple hair.
Sure.
Is it doing nothing for you?
I'm not into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Even with the what about this? What about this with the bleach blonde buzz cut and the neck tattoo?
I've seen that face before and I preferred it on Nick Jonas.
Yeah, I guess for me, he's like a punk rock Nick Jonas. I mean, that's not a negative for me, but
now, did I get the right Jonas brother that I was thinking? I did, right? It's Nick Jonas, I'm thinking, right?
It made sense to me.
Yeah. Jesus.
Listen,
seen that face before.
There was also
you and I have to have moments of you're attracted to that person and I'm not. And I'm attracted to this person and you're not. It's just how sometimes there's the Venn diagram of it all. Sometimes us in the middle, but not nearly as many as people would think.
That's true. I should know this. I should have known this. Well, I really look forward to season 2 of Peekaboo Desperado.
Yeah.
It's my favorite show.
Look, just let me in the room, VH1 or A&E or whoever's running these different reality shows. Let me in the room. Give me a little pad of paper. Tell me all your ideas. And I'll leave you with a wild list of words that I would call your show at the end. And you decide if you'd like to keep them or not.
Yep. I love this. Now I'm also thinking, do I find picture like a standing shot of each of us and put us behind the Peekaboo Desperado logo as though we're the hosts of Peekaboo Desperado? And I think the answer is yes. Because
of course we would be Peekaboo Desperado. We'd have to be the hosts. We'd have to be.
Who else could do it? To be honest, no one else would agree.
I think my only thing about reality shows is if something's awkward or uncomfortable, then I feel uncomfortable, and then I feel bad for the people, and then I feel physically ill because I feel bad for them. And I think that's why I never really turned into reality shows.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like an occasional competition show, but yeah, I'm trying to think if there's ever like an actual reality show I ever watched. I mean, I don't know if you'd consider it reality or not, but I did watch The Wilkinsons. Or at least one episode for sure.
It's definitely reality. Well, thank you very much. It's definitely reality adjacent.
Yeah, well, but yeah, other than that, and then I've seen, I think all of the reality shows I've ever seen were in your presence. Like I saw Nick and Jessica, or I saw Newlyweds with you, I think. That was I don't know, was that the same trip as Tori? The Tori and Dean one that we watched?
Oh, True Tory.
Yeah, I can't remember if that was the same trip or not. I think we started with newlyweds and somehow took a turn.
Yeah. Listen, I have an agenda.
Yeah.
And I'm not
Yeah.
ashamed of that.
Yeah, and I get that because I have so many that I've never seen.
Yeah.
And you're broadening my horizons.
It's
one
listen,
dupe
again.
troop at a time.
Dupe troop. What a missed opportunity.
I know. The second you said the word dupe, I was like, there it is. Or that's gold. Keep that.
What I like is that you've got a
Yep.
very like Mad Men vibe right now. Like, where's your ciggy and your goblet of booze? Like, it's just like, yeah, that's gold. Keep that pot.
Are you kidding me? I'm sitting here with my freaking little notepad and I'm like, okay, what do we got? They're duping people. Dupe. I like that. You think the kids will get it? Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely full Mad Men.
I love it. I love it for you. I love it for me. I love it for the people.
I just can't wait to see. There's going to be a lot of. What episode was that? Was Desperado from? I don't remember what they're talking about. Does anybody get this reference? And it's like, not yet.
Nope. 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, what a gift. Listen, this has been a joy for me.
Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed it.
Oh, I live for this. I live for this reality game. That's the next name we need to come up with.
That's the name. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I guess we now have the options of calling it Peekaboo Desperado or Love Buzzer.
Here's what I feel it should be called: Peekaboo Desperado, aka Christy's brain name game.
Christy's brain name game. Yeah. Because that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It feels really right. It feels really right.
Reality show. No.
Reality
show. Real then foe. I can't stop.
Someone give this woman a job in advertising. Like, where's the copywriter? Copywriters, where are you?
Yeah.
That reality show, real or foe? Or real then foe? Real and foe? Whatever. Either way, yes.
I'll write it down.
Thank you. That's gold. Now I'm the one with the cigarette. Yeah, keep that. It's gold.
Oh, you're definitely the boss of the Mad Men, for sure. I just can't. I even watched most of that show, but I don't remember that guy's name.
Don Draper?
No,
his boss.
who is his boss?
I have no idea.
Yeah, see, Ham. I mean, we all know Ham, but then
yeah,
who was the? Yeah, I don't remember.
I watched the first season, I believe, and that was it. It just got away from me.
I think I binged it, so I think I did the first couple at least.
Yeah,
but then I think I was just less into it than the rest of the world, and I also think I started too late because by the time I got into it, then it was like I cared a lot. Like everyone had already kind of moved on.
Yeah.
And so I just accepted it and decided, well, I guess that's that then.
Right.
And I gave up on it.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
And it's long too.
I know it is long. It is long. Thank you for joining us, dear listeners, on this reality show special episode of Last Call here on True Crime and Cocktails. We so appreciate your support here on Patreon. It allows us to continue to make truly chaotic batshit content like this, which we love, and we are glad that you enjoy it as well. Christy, do you want to say goodnight to the people?
Good night, John Hamm.
Good night, Travis Mills.
Dear people, thank you so much for joining me on this Patreon journey today. I hope that you enjoyed the extra Chucklehead content. If you're interested in more, including monthly lives and polls for upcoming episodes on the main feed, you can check it out at patreon.com/truecrimeandcocktails. And speaking of those very polls, our next episode is the result of the May patrons poll. The people asked for a case set in Alaska. So, on the next True Crime and Cocktails, the Butcher Baker. See you all June 24th. Good night, dear people.